Hey guys, welcome back to Emmalition. I'm Emma, this is Emmalition. Today we are doing a Q&A, finally. I wanted to do a Q&A for 1,000 subscribers, but didn't get around to it for a while. So first of all, I'm sorry if you sent me a question a while ago. I'm gonna answer it now, I hope. It was just one of them where I wanted to do it, and then I really started enjoying Demon's Souls, so then I just wanted to play Demon's Souls, and I was gonna post a Demon's Souls video today, but I had some technical difficulties in the last episode, which I will tell you about next week. So I thought for now, it's Saturday morning for me, it's raining outside, I have a cup of tea, and I thought we could just chat and do the Q&A finally, because I have some great questions from you guys that I collected from various sources over the internet. Some of you tweeted me, Instagram, oh my god, I can't speak today. Instagram question stickered me, and then also commented on my YouTube community post. So I've collected them in the form of an album of screenshots on my iPhone, and I'm going to go through them now. So yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to sit down and have a chat with you guys. If you spend a lot of time watching me, maybe you'd want to know what I'm all about, if you don't already. So the first question is from Ace Carter 88. What's your favorite movie or video game genre? I don't have a favorite genre. I tend to gravitate more towards RPGs, fantasy, open world stuff, and then with movies I tend to gravitate towards sci-fi, action, fantasy, comedy. I tend to stay away from romance and westerns, but that doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means that if I see a new one at the cinema, I don't necessarily want to watch it straight away. But one of my favourite films is The Time Traveler's Wife, which is a romance, but it's kind of also sci-fi because it's about time travel. So next question is from Gabe Bedard. Favorite early gen PlayStation game franchise that deserves a reboot? Who should develop it? Ooh, that's a good question. I personally think Resistance, if that counts as early, with that PS3, that should come back and be rebooted. I think Insomniac would do a great job of bringing that back. They're still doing good stuff now. I loved Resistance so much growing up. I think it would be awesome to bring it back. I don't think I would have played it probably if it hadn't come under controversy at the time. I think I was maybe 11 or 10, and my dad and I used to play games together all the time, and I saw Resistance had been condemned by the Church of England for depicting rather violent scenes in Manchester Cathedral, and they were taking it off the shelves near us. So me and my dad ran out as quick as we could to buy it because we wanted to play it, because we were like, oh, controversial. And it ended up being one of my favourite franchises. So yeah, bring back Resistance. Sorry to the church. Zach's Collection asked, if you weren't a gamer, what else would you be doing instead? What else are you passionate about? I'd probably go to the gym a lot more than I do. I think I would just do more of the other things I love. I love movies. I love watching movies and talking about movies, going to the cinema. So I'd probably just do that a bit more. Zach Kabar 15 asked, would you consider getting an Xbox Series X or Series S? Yeah, we have a Series X in the house, the last one. I don't really use it. It's more of a Sky Go machine. If I'm honest, I would consider getting a new Xbox if I could afford it. It's a lot of money to buy another next-gen console that I don't really need. I do want to play Starfield when it comes out, but we'll see. I'm not ruling it out. I love PlayStation, but I'm not like a purist. I have a Nintendo Switch as well. I'll play anything as long as it's good. Salvahead asked, favorite game for each PlayStation console? Go. Oh, the Go makes me feel stressed. Right, PS1, Tomb Raider 3, PS2, 007 Nightfire, PS3, The Last of Us, PS4, Horizon Zero Dawn, and PS5, Returnal. Nice, okay. Matty Abo asked, always wanted to start a YouTube, but nerves What gear is a must to start? I think that you need a microphone, a decent-ish one. I just have a USB microphone by Rode that I plug into my camera and then into a USB port to give it power, and a camera. I would say you can do YouTube from your phone, but if you want to do gaming, which I assume you do if you watch my channel, I don't know, if you want to do gaming, I recorded my first like 3 Little Hope episodes on my phone and it just consistently overheated because I was recording for like an hour, which iPhones aren't made for. So if you want to just do like vlogging, then you can just use your phone with a microphone plugged in, but for stuff like Let's Plays and things like that, you probably want to get a camera and some editing software. I started out with the free version of DaVinci Resolve, couldn't recommend it enough. Down with Adobe subscription-based programs, it pisses me off, so although I do still use Photoshop. Josh Whaling, if you had to watch one Adam Sandler film for the rest of your life, what would it be? Probably 50 First Dates. Is that Adam Sandler? I like that, but mainly because of Drew Barrymore. I don't really like Adam Sandler films. Sorry. MTN Dill asked, what was the first game console you played on and your first game played? And now today, what's your favorite game console and your favorite game played? I think that my first console and game was the PS1 and Tomb Raider 2, I think. It was that or the old Alien game on PS1, I can't remember. And my current favourite console is the PS5. And my favourite game is Returnal for the PS5. Nintendo Liam asked, first RPG you ever played? I think it was Fallout 3. I remember back when I was a little baby gamer, I didn't really play RPGs. I kind of used to play more linear things, I guess, like Tomb Raider, Resistance, like all the movie games. Like I used to be obsessed with James Bond, Charlie's Angels, if you remember those games. And then I think one day at school, my friend Hannah was talking about Fallout 3, and I thought that doesn't really sound like something I would enjoy. But then she sort of started explaining the mechanics of almost like free will and being able to explore where you want to go. And I think she mentioned accidentally picking up like a spoon and being chased out of town. And I was like, that sounds crazy. So I think I went to Game Station and picked it up for like £8, and I got New Vegas at the same time and just fell in love. I fell in love. As soon as I started making my character, I was like, this is so fun, because I used to love Sims as well. So I was like, this is just like Sims, but not. Liam Hasty9 says, have you always been a confident public speaker? If not, what steps did you take to improve to the point where you now appear entirely comfortable and confident speaking on camera, eliminating any sense of awkwardness? No, I have not always been a confident public speaker. Much like many other people in life, I had a hard time in school. I was very shy, didn't have that many friends, just kind of wanted to make myself as small as possible in every way, and just kind of go unseen, I would say. And I think that I chose to go to a college where no one that I went to school with really went to, because I just didn't want to see people that I went to school with. So I think there was like one person I knew from my school who I did like, who went to that college, but she did like smart people stuff like maths and science, so I never saw her again. So I think that I just got to college and thought, I really don't know anyone here, and I'm kind of over being the wallflower. And I think I just tried my best to make friends and find people with common interests. And I think it really helped going to college. If you're not from the UK, college is when you're 16 to 18, before university. I think it was just a different vibe there for me. I took film studies, I took English literature, English language, environmental science, and I kind of met, especially in film class, I met people very similar to me who liked similar stuff. They all liked games and movies and TV. And I think just being able to have conversations about common interests made me think, oh, maybe I am interesting, or maybe I do like interesting stuff. It's just I've never met anyone before who also likes the same things as me. So I think making a few more friends definitely helped. And then I think that just through work and the job I have to do a lot of public speaking. One thing I will say is that as much as YouTube is probably as close as you can get to speaking to a person you don't know, I do cut stuff out, and I do sometimes say things twice, 3 times if it doesn't sound right or if I've stumbled over my words. So I might not seem awkward and it might all seem like it flows really well, but realistically it doesn't for a lot of people. I think you'll find a lot of people on YouTube are the wallflowers and the people that are more comfortable sitting alone in their bedroom talking to the wall than they are to real people. So yeah, I think just work on it, watch some YouTube videos about how to be more confident, and just be sure in yourself and what you're talking about, and I think that the confidence will shine through. That is my non-expert advice. Hope it helped. Mr. A Game says, what do you do for work outside of YouTube, and where do you ideally see yourself and your channel in 5 years' time? Ooh, big question. So first part of that question, I don't think I can tell you where I work or what I do. No, I can't. But I can tell you that I am a project delivery manager. I do a lot of spreadsheets. I manage a lot of clients. I talk to people all day doing presentations and meetings. It's corporate. It's the corporate dream. It's not bad. I like who I work with. My team are really nice. It's a good job. I quite enjoy it, and I've done quite well since I started there. So yeah, but I can't tell you where it is, I don't think. Or at least if they knew I was doing YouTube, it would probably not be good. And the second part of that question, where do you ideally see yourself in your channel in 5 years' time? I don't know. I think I just see myself being able to make better content and more frequently, I think would be nice. In an ideal world, maybe I'd do 4 days a week at my day job instead of 5, so I could do an extra video or 2 a week. That would be awesome. I would love to post more. I kind of feel bad that I only post once a week, usually twice if we're lucky, especially when it's a Let's Play. I personally love watching Let's Players who do it full time and they post like every day or every other day. So every week, Returnal went on for like 3 months because I can only manage 1 video a week. So I think that ideally I'd be at a point where I can post a lot more. The content would be better quality, like a better camera. I've got my eye on a microphone, which I really want. I think, yeah, just focusing on the quality for you guys and hopefully growing the community. There's already so many cool people in the comments that make me laugh every week, and I love chatting to you guys, and I love when you notice daft stuff that I say that even I haven't probably noticed. So yeah, just focusing on quality, frequency, and yeah, that would be cool. Shashank asked, what's your favorite genre of games? Shooters, strategy, RPG? Do you prefer story-driven games? So I kind of answered this earlier, I think, but I would say I definitely do prefer story-driven games, even if it's not the main thing. Like, I think Returnal's a good example of a game where the story didn't get probably as much coverage as it deserved. It was more about, oh, it's too difficult, or you die constantly, and people kind of forgot how cool the story of Celine is. I definitely get invested in that side of games. I love RPGs, like I said, anything open world where you can explore. So yeah, story is a big factor, and characters, so yeah. Storm the Bard says, what made you want to start making videos and sharing your passions with others? I think that it's because I've been watching YouTube and Let's Players for so long, since I was 11, probably, maybe 12. And I've always thought I would love to do that. That's really cool. I want to do that like kids do when they watch their favorite singer on stage and they go, I want to do that. I want to be a singer. For me, it was like watching the Pew's Amnesia playthrough and going, this is hilarious. I want to try that too. Like I briefly touched on before, I didn't have much confidence growing up for various reasons, and I think that it's just something you put off a lot. And I would say that the pandemic and being in a lockdown allowed me to sort of focus on myself and what I wanted to do, and I was bored and I wanted to just try something I've wanted to do for like 15 years. I think as soon as I uploaded my first video, one of my best friends who's never played games was like, I love this, I really want to play that game now. And she bought a PS4. And I was like, it's so nice that she enjoyed seeing me play it so much that she then wanted to play. And I think that kind of feedback makes you want to do it more. And I also think it was like a weirdly good way of connecting with like my friends again. In the pandemic, I hadn't seen a couple of my best friends for 8-9 months, and they were watching my videos and they said it was like having me back in the room, and that was quite cool as well. And then I got you guys commenting saying, oh, I just found your channel, really enjoying watching these videos. And I think the more of that feedback you get, the more you want to do it. Who knows what it'll be like when the comments start being horrible, but for now, touch wood, we enjoy what we've got. PS5 HQ says, what's your highly anticipated game for 2021 and beyond? I think for this year it's Deathloop that I'm really excited for. I love anything with the kind of James Bond 60s 70s aesthetic, and I famously enjoy Bethesda games. Skyrim and Fallout are some of my favorite games, so I just think I'm going to love it. Basically, beyond 2021, Elden Ring. I wouldn't have said that before I'd started playing Demon's Souls. I was excited for Elden Ring, but I don't think I understood Elden Ring. Whereas now I'm like, I need it. I need it. Peter Games asked, which game or series that is now defunct would you want to bring back? I think I answered that earlier. Resistance, definitely Resistance. I would also bring back SSX. SSX Tricky and SSX 3 were two of my favorite games ever, and I would love a new one, but like a good one. Gons Alex asked, if you could make a video game of anything you wanted, what would it be? Ooh, good question. Right, so this this puts me in mind of when I was 7 or 8, perhaps 9. I used to play GTA all the time, which is obviously wrong in hindsight. So mom and dad, if you're watching this, what the fuck? But I was obsessed with GTA, and I used to love drawing my PS2 game covers. Like, I would draw them to size and like trace them and like color them in. I was weird. I was a weird kid. I remember basically drawing out a GTA cover but making it themed like my hometown, which obviously I'm not gonna say where that is because my mom told me not to tell strangers on the internet where I live. But I remember drawing this game cover, and it was like the town centre where I live with like various landmarks so you could tell where it was, and like people near the shopping centre like running away from a guy who had a gun, which is like so fucked up actually when I think about it. But I was like, Mom, look, imagine if GTA was in our town. And she was like, damn, I've messed up. But I just remember thinking how cool it would be to like have a game where I could explore where I live. It's like, I can't imagine how cool it would be if you lived in New York and you can play something like Spider-Man and actually go around New York and maybe find roughly where you live. I think that would be so cool. And I just remember thinking like it would be great if you could drive around and run around where you live and like a house and stuff. But like in hindsight now, explaining it back to you, it sounds bad. Kev A. Adamson asked, what's your favourite game ever, any format, era, etc.? Oh, that's a hard one. My favourite series is probably Tomb Raider as a whole because of various things, including nostalgia and just overall enjoyment over the years. I would say my favourite game in general is either The Last of Us 2 or Returnal? Maybe? BTC Biolamide, did I say that right? Asked, if you could have any video game character as your best friend, who would it be? Lara not included. I think Nathan Drake and I would be great pals and we'd have a hoot. I just dig his whole vibe. So yeah, Nathan Drake, BFFs. Nick, the data guy, asked, I appreciate maybe not your area as it's Xbox, but wonder what your view on subscription gaming is, such as Game Pass, Personally, I think it's great. I'm an Xbox guy, so my view may be a bit biased. I ask this as I believe it's the way the industry is heading, especially with acquisitions like Bethesda. £7 a month for AAA games on day one has to be good, plus it opens up other games I wouldn't have bothered with. Hellblade, unless it was on Game Pass. Yeah, I see your point and I do agree with what you're saying. I think subscription-based services are great in many ways. I mentioned before about my friend who bought a PS4 after watching me play games because she really wanted to get started, and getting a PS Plus subscription was great for her because she was able to peruse loads of games without having to buy like something for 30-40 quid that she might not have liked. She was able to kind of dip in and have a scroll through a big catalogue of games. So I think for her that was great. We have Game Pass in the house and it's great for kind of, oh, we're bored, we want to play a game, let's see what's on Game Pass. Like that's kind of the attitude we have towards it. I personally don't get a lot out of the subscription-based gaming services because the games I love and get excited about are like bigger releases that I want to put the money towards, if that makes sense. Like with something like Returnal, it was 70 quid, which is a lot of money, but it meant that I actually stuck with it and got the most out of the game. If Returnal was on Game Pass, I would have died like 4 times and been like, fuck this, and uninstalled it, because it would just be like, well, no harm, no foul, I haven't spent much money on it. Whereas I think actually putting the money to the side to buy a game like that makes you put more effort into it, for me anyway. That said, I do have a cinema card where I pay £15 a month for like unlimited films and like discount on the food and stuff. And I agree with Nick the Data Guy that I have seen some amazing films that I never would have paid like £10 to see on their own. And I'm really glad that having the like free card has enabled me to like go and see things I wouldn't otherwise be interested in just because it's free, kind of. And in the same vein, I've been to see films I'm really excited about and it's been absolute trash, and I've just thought I'm so glad that I didn't kind of pay for this. I guess with movies I'm like that. With games I'm a bit more like precious and I want to have the game and set aside the money and the time for it. But I just think that it's whatever you want, and if you love Game Pass or PS Now or whatever, then good for you. I think everyone arguing about it all the time is just really stupid, and I don't understand the issue. It's not that deep, in my opinion. Hyzen Reborn asks, are you excited for Kina? Yes, I am really excited for Kina. It's going to be awesome. Young Skywalker asked, would you ever consider doing live streaming? I would consider it, yes. It's not number one on my list of things to do at the minute. I enjoy YouTube a lot and I don't even have the time to do more than 1 or 2 videos a week, so I don't even know where live streaming would fit in with that schedule. I also have never really been one to watch a lot of Twitch or whatever, so I almost feel like it's not my area to get involved in. As I already said, I've watched a lot of Let's Players over the years. I love watching YouTube. I kind of feel more comfortable here, whereas somewhere like Twitch isn't somewhere I've ever really been involved in, so it doesn't really feel like the right fit for me, at least not now. Maybe one day if I have more time or there's a lot of demand for it, I will, but right now, no. No. Poco Loco Tabitha, the best username ever, asked, if you didn't have a gaming channel, what else could you see yourself filming? I don't know, that's a good question. I think I would do more maybe like chatty, almost like philosophical videos. I don't know, gaming's the only thing I've ever really wanted to do, so that's a hard question. But yeah, probably something more talky, deep, maybe fake deep content. Guts McTavish 91, very nice username, says, are you ever going to branch out onto Twitch or Patreon? So I answered the Twitch question before. Patreon, I don't know. I'd like to, but I just don't know what I would put on there at the minute. I guess I would want people paying for my Patreon to get value for their money, so I wouldn't just want to make one for nothing. So I guess I'll have a think about what could go on there. If you guys have any ideas of what you'd like to see on a Patreon page, whether it's just somewhere to have more direct access to somewhere to ask me questions or chat, then that's fine. Or if there's more content you guys would want to see, let me know. The Comballs said, who's your favorite streamer or YouTuber and why? This isn't very interesting and is probably very typical, but I briefly mentioned before about the fact I used to watch Pewd's Amnesia videos when I was like 12. I've watched him ever since, so I'd say he's my favorite YouTuber, but it's not that interesting. He's like the biggest gaming YouTuber in the world, if not one of the biggest YouTubers in general, so it's like, of course you like him. I also love Mars. She's like basically the reason I even started doing Let's Plays on YouTube, because when I found her videos, I was like, oh, she reminds me of me and the kind of content I would love to make. And not saying I'm as cool or as amazing as Mars, by the way. I just mean like the kind of tone felt similar to what I would want to do. And I think that it gave me the confidence to think, oh yeah, that's the kind of thing I would like to make. So I watch a lot of non-gaming YouTube as well. Like Cody Co is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. When he uploads a new video, it's like Christmas Day. One day I will have one of the Pewds clutch chairs, but for £500 it might not be for a while. For now, I'm just rocking the Argos own brand 80 quid piece of shit that gives me back problems. I think that is the end of the questions. If I've missed any ones, I'm sorry, I didn't organize it very well. I think next time I may just do them on my channel only, so I don't end up having to find scraps from all the different social media channels. So thank you so much as well for the support on the channel so far. It means the world to me that you guys are enjoying it. So yeah, stick around and I'll see you very soon.